Good morning. Happy Thursday. All right, you guys. So I'm sitting here at Go Healthy, and I was about to start studying but continue studying for my USC class. So once a month, I teach entrepreneur. It used to be all women. Now it's women and men. Entrepreneurs how to grow and scale their business. And but I felt some calling to get on here because if you guys go back, go look at my story. I posted a live from Garrett White, and I just felt like called to do this live because, well, first of all, let me tell you about this man, okay? So I don't know, for those of you guys who know me and you know me well, you know that I'm not very easily impressed, okay? Like, I love people, I love things, and I can appreciate, okay? I can appreciate people, I can appreciate things, I can appreciate trainings, but it's not easy to have me say like, wow, okay? and number two, I am always like, I love to be authentic, I like to be real, and I like to speak the truth, okay? Sometimes people don't appreciate that about me, but that's the way I've chosen to live my life. So a few years ago, in December 2014 to be exact, I was invited to go to a training in Vegas, okay? And here's what I'm going to tell you guys, okay? And this is just my own personal philosophy. I'm not telling you have to be this way. But one of the reasons why so many doors have opened for me and I have had so many opportunities is because I am not scared to say yes. Okay, I'm not scared to say yes. Now, why do I say that? Because a lot of people sometimes, you want the world to give you things, but your hands are like this. So like God wants to give you something, but you're not able or willing to receive it, okay? And so that's not been my case, okay? Probably to my detriment, but it's okay because it's cost me and I've lost a lot of money doing this. But I've always been maybe not always, but I've been somebody that I love to grow, I love to learn, I love to put myself in situations and around people that are gonna make me expand and grow. So anytime I am invited to anything, I'm invited to anything or go anywhere that I have a feeling or a calling that this might support me in my life, I'm always a yes, okay? And I'll figure out a way financially or time-wise to make it happen. And because of that, you know, I have not had opportunities like working with Dr. Davids at USC, right? Teaching entrepreneurs. I've been doing that now for, I don't even know, 7-8 years. And every year we have a different cohort, and every year I teach the entrepreneur growth plan part of the program. And that was all because one day somebody invited me to something and I said yes, and then that's where I met Dr. Davids, okay? No one's gonna come to your home and say, I have an opportunity for you, okay? It's just not gonna happen. You gotta put yourself out there. You have to be willing. There's that word. You gotta be willing to put yourself out there. So I was invited to speak at a Las Vegas event that was launching for the very first time. It was called, I don't know if it's, actually it still goes on. It's called The Next Level Experience by Raul Villasis. And he invited me. He said, I want you to come over and and I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea, like, okay, here we go, right? I've never spoken in front of like such high caliber entrepreneurs. And he wanted me to speak about the power of the buying power of women, okay? And so I had to study and I had to because I had knowledge, but and I got on stage and I spoke. And at that event, I met the most amazing people, okay? And one of them was Garrett White. And he had just launched, like maybe a couple years in, his Wake Up Warrior program. If you're a man and you can afford him, I would highly recommend that you look into it, right? And even for us ladies, like, look into it. He is phenomenal. Like, if I were a man, I would so hire him, okay? But anywho, he did a live yesterday, I think it was, and he was talking about how God speaks to you. And I, for a couple of weeks now, I have been in this detriment that I have been feeling called, and I'm listening, but like I said in my last live, I haven't completely, hi Raquel, girl, you have to go watch what I sent you. Okay, Karla, focus. I have been called, but I have been feeling a calling, but haven't been completely like fully forced, right? Was not, I should say. And then a few weeks ago, I was doing a morning meditation and it just hit me. And it hit me like a rock, like what am I doing? Okay? What am I doing? Not following what I know I need to do. What am I doing? Not doing what I know I need to do. And sometimes, you guys, because we are so considerate of the people around us, and I'm not telling you not to be, okay? So just bear with me for a second. But sometimes because we're so worried about the people around us, that we hold ourselves back in fear of leaving the people around us behind. But here's the thing. So I was talking to my dad about this, and my dad, sometimes he's so well, a lot of the times he's so wise, right? But I don't always listen, and because he's my dad, what does he know, right? Anyway, I was talking to him, and he said something that I was like, huh? And he said, listen, well, I'm not gonna say everything he said, okay? But he said, my dad said, Karla, you cannot be worried about people around you. You cannot be worried about what they're doing or not doing. You got to go after what you need to do. You need to take actions on the things you need to take actions on. You need to do what you need to do and what you know to do. Okay? And my dad, I don't think there's anybody on this earth, it makes me really emotional, who believes in me as much as him. Okay? He said the most beautiful things about me. I was kind of like, okay, it was a little uncomfortable, okay? And he started saying all these things, how much he believes in me and how talented I am. He said all these beautiful things. And then he said, why don't you consider that when you go, when you show up, and when you do what you know needs to be done, people around you are going to be inspired and most likely are going to want to follow you, are going to want to do what you're doing. They're going to step it up, right? Now, whether that happens or not, it doesn't matter. But he made me really think, yes, because one of the things, and I know maybe for those of you who kind of know me, you might think I'm this really strong, whatever kind of person. But the reality is I'm kind of a softie. Okay, not completely, okay, but I'm kind of a softie in the sense that I love to help people, and I love to help people to my detriment many times. To my detriment, meaning that so many times rather than, and sometimes, we can call people selfish, but sometimes we need to be selfish with ourselves in our lives. And so, for the last couple of weeks, I made a decision. And that is to take on this project here in Santa Maria. So what I'm going to be doing, okay, because one of the things I absolutely love to do and that I'm really good at, okay, is helping women and men, but specifically women, helping people build and grow a business. That is what juices me up. That is what I'm good at. That is what I'm passionate about, right? And especially, I should say this, I love working and helping people grow their business and build their businesses when they are part of my tribe. Meaning, they're go-getters, they're hard workers, they don't put excuses, okay? They rarely complain, because sometimes, right, we got to kind of complain a little bit, right? But they rarely complain, and if they complain, it's to figure out a way to do something about it. Those are the people I personally love to work with. The people that are ready to walk and run, okay? I say walk because sometimes you got to kind of catch the momentum, right? And then once they got it, they're like, let's go. And I'm right there, right behind them, pushing and running with them, right? That is, can you just feel my energy? That is what I love to do, okay? And it's rare to find people like that, unfortunately, okay? A lot of people might think they are like that, but their actions say otherwise. So many people will say things like, I really want to do this, I really want to have more, I really want to become more, but rarely do they actually take actions to do it. And listen, I've fallen plenty of times as well, okay? But here's the thing, and that is that, can you identify when you're falling to get yourself back up? Can you identify when you are deviating to get yourself back on track? Right? And how you're going to identify that is by, like, once a day. I don't know. For me, it's in the morning, okay? Is to just quiet the mind and listen. Quiet the mind and listen. Feel what you're feeling, right? And I have been feeling uneasy. I've been feeling like, ay Dios mío, like, right? And it just hit me like, I'm feeling that way because I'm not playing full out. So I made a decision a couple of weeks ago to stop playing small. I made a decision a couple of weeks ago to just go for what I know I need to go for, right? Yes, I'm going to consider and involve people around me, but that doesn't mean that if they don't want to do it, that I'm going to, because here's what normally happens, okay? I'm just going to confess. Normally what happens is when somebody doesn't want to do it, that I want to do them with, that I want to work with them, and I want to do this with them. Hi, Diana. I want to, like, have them come with me. And when they don't come with me, I get discouraged, I get disappointed, and I sometimes get frustrated. No, not sometimes. I get frustrated. And then guess what, you guys? All my energy is put on that instead of my energy being put on this. And so I'm going to invite you guys at some point today, okay? Take the time to just quiet the mind, okay? I'll put it on the comments. I'll put some links of songs that I love to listen to that I just like calm down and meditate to. It's from the Gladiator soundtrack. And every time I hear that specific soundtrack, okay, I've been listening to it since 2015, actually 2014, and it just takes me and it puts me in a certain state of mind. And it allows me to just quiet down, feel what I'm feeling, hear what I'm thinking, and really to really get direction in my life. Like, where do I need to go? What do I need to do? And to, once you feel and hear that, you guys, I'm going to invite you to go for it. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. Sometimes you might be like, really? Right? But the reality is, you are a spirit having a human being like experience here, right? You're a spirit having a human like experience in this life. Okay? So this body of yours is not empty. There is a spirit in here, and this spirit already knows what's coming ahead. It knows what life you ought to live. And then here's what I heard this morning, okay? This one hurt, okay? This is what Garrett said this morning, okay? I'm going to invite you guys to go listen to his lives. Don't get offended, okay? Because he's like straight up, straight talk. Like, he does not hold back. So he's my type of guy. But anywho, he said, there is a version of you. There is a future version of you that will be disgusted with the version you are today. And I was like, he said, there is a future version of you. I hope I'm doing it justice, but there is a future version of you that will look back and will be disgusted on who you are today. And I hope that that's my case, right? Why? Because that means that I've become better, that I've become more, okay? Because I would hate to a future version of me to be what would that word be? Anyway, to look back and be like, I was better before than I am today, right? Like, we don't want that. We want to be better. We want to grow. We want to make more money. We want to become better human beings. So anyway, so I just wanted to ask every single one of you guys, or encourage you, number one, go listen to that live that he did, okay? Go to my stories and you can follow it there. And I'm so excited. He like reached out and said, I reached out to him because he's having an event, and I want to be on the waiting list or on the pre-sale list or whatever. And I was expecting somebody from his staff to reply, right? Because he's busy. And he replied with the voice message and remembered me, which was, I was telling my husband, I'm like, okay, you know, I am normally not like, oh my gosh, look who reached out. I'm not like, you know, like I'm very not impressed that easily, or like, wow. Like I used to live in LA, being around tons of celebrities, and you know, it was cool watching them, and it was cool like seeing, oh, that's so and so. But unless it was Matthew McConaughey, you did not get me all excited, okay? Well, I was super excited that he reached out, and you know, he said, you know, let's talk, and I was like, oh gosh, of course. What he doesn't know is that I've been stalking him for years, listening to all his stuff, actually training from his stuff, and he lives down in Dana Point, and so sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna see on his date night, Matthew, yes, girl, that's I met him once, not like personally, but I was in the same room with him, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's so beautiful. Anyway, and his wife is gorgeous, and she's Latina, just saying. But anyway, back to this, okay? So you know, I don't even know what I was saying because I just got Matthew struck. But anyhow, so you know, so when he messaged me, I was like literally about to pee in my pants. But I'm super excited to attend. He's like, yes, of course, I would love to have you my MetCon. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I told my husband, like, I'm taking those days off. I'm going to be in front of the computer, because here's the thing I will tell you, okay? And I'm going to end with this, and that is that, how do people relate to you? I want you to ask yourself, when people think of you, what do they think of? Okay, and I asked that in my last live, and that is like, what are you portraying out to the world? So when somebody thinks of, for example, when I think of Garrett, I think intense, I think truthful, raw, authentic, intelligent, and I know that anything he is involved with, like if he's putting it on, it's going to be at a very high standard. Like I already know, like, right? Like I know he doesn't take shortcuts. He's not cheap with his stuff. You know, he plays full out. So anything that has to do, and if he's involved in something, I know it's going to be good. Okay. I know it. It's just like, I just know. Okay. So I want you to think about, what do people expect when they think of you? I'll tell you, you know, I'm going to launch a new all women's empowerment workouts here in Santa Maria. Okay, so if you're around the area and you want to come, you know, send me a message. But I'm starting an all women's empowerment workout here every Wednesday. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to start on the dot, okay? 7:00 on the dot with whoever is there, okay? And the reason being is because I want people to know, hey, when I'm going to be coming to this workout, this all women's empowerment, I can count on things running the way they're meant to be ran. That is having integrity in everything you do, okay? Now, integrity doesn't mean that you're perfect, but it means that you're doing the best that you can, and when you don't, you clean it up. You don't just step over it. Like, I cannot stand when people are late. Like, no, like, your time is not more important than ours, right? And like, that is one of my biggest pet peeves. And I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe a few minutes, maybe a minute or two, but not 30 minutes. And then when you come, you don't even apologize. You don't even acknowledge, right? That, hey, I'm sorry I'm late, number one. Number two, here's what I'm going to recommend that you do. Anytime you know that you cannot accomplish, you cannot fulfill on a promise that you had, communicate it. Be like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm running late. Okay, so now we know. Boom, your integrity has been restored. But the people that just come in like nothing, they don't even apologize or like whatever, I'm just like, seriously? Not my tribe. Okay? Not my tribe. All right? And so anyway, I go to say all of this to say, I encourage you guys, take a moment, hear what you're feeling, hear what you're thinking, okay? And really go after what you want in life. And follow your desires, follow your dreams. Follow what you know you're meant to do. Don't be a copycat in the sense that, oh, well, I think because they're doing it, I'm going to do it. Don't do that. Okay? Yes, follow those that you know can guide you, but don't just follow because you're lazy to do the work, or don't follow just because you're lazy to not think and plan and strategize. Okay? So that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to go back to studying, okay, because I've got 3 sessions I'm going to be teaching on tomorrow, actually. I'm teaching marketing, okay? Sales, which is my favorite, okay? My favorite subject to teach in this particular course is sales, because the way that I teach it is that sales is a process of you discovering, okay? And then we're going to go through their finance, which is every entrepreneur's struggle, okay? So anyhow, you guys, if you find this helpful, share it with somebody. Send me a message. Let me know if you took the time to do it and what you discovered, okay? Have a blessed Thursday, and go up there, listen to the story. Hi, Emma. Go up there, listen to the story, click on it, and watch it. So powerful. Don't be offended, though, because he's intense, raw, and real. Real and raw, okay? But so good. All right, you guys have a happy Thursday. We'll see you guys later.